Hey guys, welcome back to Team 6K. It's that time of year again where the community begins to talk about the yearly world update in Duel Links. This year it's set to most likely be Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's world based on the linear structure of how new worlds have been released so far. Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's is the 7th addition to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime franchise, and rather than playing the same rules of duel monsters that have been played in every previous entry of the series, this anime is based around the new type of dueling called Rush Duels. Rush Duels has been adapted to a physical card game to go alongside the anime as well. Due to how different the game is, the potential inclusion of Rush Duels into Duel Links has a lot of people talking. Rush Duel is a format of Yu-Gi-Oh! That if you already know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! It will be pretty easy to pick up. You can think of it as just the same as regular Yu-Gi-Oh! But with some core differences. Firstly, there is no summon limit. You can normal summon and tribute summon as much as you like in a turn. Secondly, all effects are a soft once per turn, meaning that any given card can only use its effect once in a turn. But if you have another copy of that card, then it can also use its effect one time in the same turn. This is different from regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of the existence of cards that are a hard once per turn, meaning that even if you have another copy, you can only use one of the copy's effects once in a turn, and also because of the existence of cards that don't have a once per turn at all. Because of this, all cards don't need to mention that they are once per turn, as it is a part of the game's mechanics already that everything is a soft once per turn. Thirdly, costs and effects are not a part of the same sentence on Rush Duel cards. They are split up into different sections to make it easier to determine whether or not something is a cost or an effect. Fourthly, during your draw phase, instead of drawing one card, you draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. So you don't need to feel bad about using your whole hand in one turn. It will be refilled next turn anyway. If you already have 5 or more cards in your hand during your draw phase though, you will just draw one card, and you do get to draw a card in your draw phase of the first turn if you're the player going first. Fifth, at the end of your turn, when you have too many cards in your hand, so you have to discard some, that doesn't exist in Rush Duel, so you can keep all of your cards in hand even if you have a bunch. Sixth, there are no chain links in Rush Duels. The only form of quick effect in the game are trap cards, and if the non-turn player has reached an activation requirement and wants to use a trap card, they have the first opportunity to do so. And if they take that opportunity, then the turn player cannot respond to it. But if the non-turn player chooses not to, and the turn player has a trap card that has reached its activation condition, they may activate that trap, but they do have to give the opportunity to the opponent first. Seventh is a type of summon called a maximum summon that is exclusive to Rush Duels. That is like 3 monster cards, 3 specifically, that you have to summon them together with an empty field. You summon all 3 of them together and they form one big monster field basically. Eighth, there is a certain type of card in Rush Duels called a legend card, and legend cards follow the same rules as limited to 1 cards do in Duel Links. You can only play 1 out of all the legend cards available in your deck. Other than this, the deck size, extra deck size, and life points are the same as in the TCG and OCG. However, there is a chance that the life points, deck size, and extra deck size will be reduced to Duel Links level when it comes to the game. There are minor details about rulings that I didn't mention, but the thing is about those minor details is that they are actually simplifications of complicated TCG, OCG, and Duel Links rulings. For example, the difference between discarding a card and sending a card from hand to grave is a pretty big deal for us, but in Rush Duel, they made it the exact same thing. And you can think of other things that seem the same but are different depending on wording, that are all actually exactly the same in Rush Duel. Rush Duel is intended to be simple in all of its rules to make it easy for young duelists to learn. And in my opinion, the simpler a game is, the shorter the distance between being a noob and being a pro. You don't have to worry so much about learning intricate rulings, so you can get right into learning how to make the right moves. The cards are also designed a little differently, but they have all the same things as a regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, just in different places or sized differently. Why should we care about Rush Duel though? Well, there are people that wonder about the future of dueling. If we are going to get Rush Duel Series 7's World this year and Go Rush World next year, both of those series being based around Rush Duel rather than standard duel monsters might have people thinking maybe the developers of Duel Links will be too busy focusing on the development of Rush Duels to focus on standard Duel Links. Will standard Duel Links be replaced? I don't think that there's any chance Duel Links as we know it is going anywhere. It is the form of Yu-Gi-Oh! That Konami makes the most money from, so for them to discard it wouldn't be a good idea. More likely, Rush Duel will simply be an alternate option for people to play within the overall Duel Links system. Similar to how you can choose to make your duel room a turbo duel room, where you can use speed skills using speed counters you get over time and whenever you normal summon or synchro summon. That said, in order to really validate the inclusion of Rush Duels, they are definitely going to need to have some amount of focus on it. So one might question, Will the focus be taken away from standard Duel Links for a bit? Duel Links is an incredibly lucrative venture for Konami. They have made more money with Duel Links than with any other form of Yu-Gi-Oh! So I definitely think they will be able to afford the right amount of staff to focus on both standard Duel Links and Rush Duel Links. When it comes to card releases though, I wonder if new boxes will contain both new cards and Rush cards, or whether there will be separate boxes for each format. If they are released together, then the amount of cards Duel Links will get for standard Yu-Gi-Oh! Will be slowed down, allowing more time for power creep to gradually happen until we eventually reach the OCG. If they aren't released together, then Duel Links will go on just the same as normal, and Rush Duel will be a completely separate game within the same app. There is another possibility for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s that I'm not so sure about, but we should at least address. What if the Rush cards are all adapted to be standard Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards for the purpose of integration into the standard Duel Links format? I definitely think that this is a far-fetched idea, but I do want to talk about it a little bit at least. I think that the core principles of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s would disagree with this concept, so lore-wise it wouldn't fit. And then in a practical sense, standard Duel Links is far too fast and powerful for the cards in Rush Duels to keep up. In Duel Links we have powerful negates and other kinds of interruption, whereas that isn't even allowed in the game mechanics of Rush Duel. So converting Rush Duel cards to standard would only hurt the Rush Duel cards. It is also worth wondering if we are getting a Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's world. Will the characters' level up rewards contain gems we can use on standard Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, or will they use a separate system to get their cards? If they use the same gems as we use now, that would make a lot of people interested in playing through the stages of that world and leveling up those characters. It would also be a nice incentive to get more players to learn how to play Rush Duels and see if they might actually like it. That said though, if they do use the same gem system, then there might not be as much incentive to invest in Rush Duel cards in boxes unless they come in the same boxes as standard Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I definitely think that adding Rush Duel has enough complication to it that it won't be the most seamless integration ever, but the team that works on Duel Links has been successful with other difficult integrations before, so I do think that they might surprise us with how well they do it this time. Only time will tell, and I'm honestly excited to play some Rush Duels. It was never released internationally, so being added to Duel Links would technically be the official international release of the game. If you guys have anything to add that I might have forgotten about, or maybe I didn't even think about talking about, definitely give us your thoughts in the comments so we can talk about it. If anybody would be interested in Team 6K making Rush Duel content, be sure to let us know and we will take what you want into consideration. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, then slap like now, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell to get notified every time we make a new video, and I've been Undead from Team 6K, signing out.
Hey, why they gotta hate on me? I done got me 250,000 views and they still saying they low key. They ain't wanna come work with the kid, but I'm flexing with Zay on beats. How they ask for a spot at the gym, but they leave all the weight on me. I don't ask them to wait on me. They would ask where they gon' be with a song if they wanted the weatherman. I ain't asking to pay no fees. She was homeless and needed a spot. I ain't ask her to pay no lease. I ain't ask her to say no please. I ain't ask her to make no cheese. Scream fake, but it ain't on me. Got clean so it ain't no streets. Why green if it ain't no keeps? Brought cream so it ain't no beef. My team say it ain't no chief. My demon they hang on me. They seemingly ain't no peace. I seen him, he ain't no beast.